Sublime magnificence. Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen, and I am joined as usual by my co-host and runner-mate, one of my best friends in the world, El Director himself, Chill Bill Smith.
You are gonna do that to me on my birthday?
Yeah, it's a term of affection. It's okay.
Happy Halloween, Omari.
Happy Halloween. That's right. It's Halloween edition. Happy birthday indeed. And it's spooky month. And for that, we had a guest in mind, but life is life. We were unable to get him to come in, but we still wanted to get the episode out
because I still watch this movie.
Because we still watch this movie,
and I'm gonna make something out of watching this movie.
Fair enough. That's right, because this week, by the way, this guy has a scene. We trade movies back and forth, and one guy has seen it, the other hasn't. Get yourself a movie club with your friends. It's fun to do. Don't gotta podcast it, but just have some fun. And this week, our suggestion by a friend of the show, Fluffles, was Tokyo Gore Police.
Tokyo Gore Police. In future Tokyo, a young woman in a privatized police force tracks down her father's killer while battling against mutant rebels known as engineers.
That's right. So, neither of us really speak Japanese, but I'm going to give it a crack at these names. It was directed by Yoshihiro Nishimura. The writers are Kingo Kajimaki, Mizui Yoshihiro, and Nishimura. And it stars, I believe, Eihi Shina, Itsuji Itao, and Yukihide Beni.
Excellent, Omari. Excellent. I loved it.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, that's the star Ruka. You had the villain in there, Keyman, as well as several other of the main actors.
Fair. So as to why this was suggested, I did ask. Well, he kind of just mentioned why he suggested it, as opposed to something else, because I saw him the other day. He wanted something with talking points. And this had more talking points than the other thing that he wanted to talk about. He's like, if there's one thing this movie has, it's talking points. He said, you thought Malignant had talking points. No, sirree. This has talking points. Another reason he chose it is because he gave us two options, a little peel behind the curtain. He gave us two options of something that he could suggest to us, and us who had just recently gotten done watching Hostel. You saw it last week in the review. I just asked, which of those two is the least like Hostel? To which he said Tokyo, definitely Tokyo. Now there's a point in this movie that I might want to argue I said least like Hostel, and it was very much like Hostel.
Yeah.
No, there's one specific
we could
thing.
argue that.
There's one specific thing that was.
Yeah.
But, you know, was he right, was he wrong, whatever. We watched this movie. It was Tokyo Gore Police. So coming into Tokyo Gore Police, Bill, what were you expecting?
Yeah, full behind the curtain. He sent those two options, and I searched both of those options, and like looked at the poster basically. And so I knew we were in for like anime ridiculousness. A little bit like IRL anime is what the poster was giving me.
All right.
And then our would-be guest sent a little brief description bio kind of thing as he was deciding which one to pick. And so I had that going for it, which I would actually like to pull up right now, because that would perfectly describe potentially what I was expecting.
Gotcha. And while you pull that up, I'll say what I was expecting. Gore.
Yeah.
Gore. And I even wrote my notes. I'm expecting Gore, hopefully not Hostile style. Just because we left last week so disenchanted with everything, for lack of a better phrase.
Right.
And so, and we pretty much got the message about, okay, here's the suggestions right after we had like finished talking about Hostel, or like the next day. So Hostel was fresh in my head, and I was like, I said it in the last one. Hostel ruined horror movies for me. So if we're picking two, that's not something I wanted.
Hostel was awful. It's gonna go down in our pantheon. It might. I don't know. We'll stay tuned for next year's end of the year list. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how things go. So take the goriest hack and slash video game you've ever played. Give it to Paul Verhoeven. Levels of satire. That's a RoboCop director. And over violence, and you get a weird movie that's just delightful in a only weird fucking movie. Yeah, I just butchered it at the end. But yeah, that so that was a good primer. Like I had already read that, and so that gives you a pretty good primer. He lays it out for you pretty well. I'm a fan of the RoboCop style of things. I would actually maybe even say that this is more of like a trauma film, if I had something to compare it to. Yeah, I was prepared for some like
wacky new shit.
Yeah.
I don't think I was prepared for wacky new shit because I had forgot to read that description there, because on read synopsises. Because he gave 2 paragraphs that were like that, where he said like, this is my idea as to what this film represents, and my response was, okay, those are cool paragraphs, but which one of them is not like Hostel? Anyway, so getting into the movie, I guess initial reactions and stuff. It's all, my dad is a hero and the so and so, and he's a da 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 da. And I'm just like, oh god, this music and imagery is just too happy. It's the kids,
bright balloons, bright color. It's like a children's show.
Yeah, and like the kids narrating. This. I'm like, not the kid narrating. It's going to take a turn, and there it is. It's dad shot, and I was like, and he like immediately cut to a radio announcer. Hey guys! Oh, by the way, we watched the dub.
Yeah,
we watched the dub this time. But yeah, she's like, hey guys, I'm a radio announcer. I'm like, oh, so it's a comical movie. Okay, we got a radio announcer. Interesting. And after that, we kind of go into, as part of the intro, pretty much, which also like the first standout moment, fucking chainsaw demon man with the fucking.
Yeah, we've met our main character, Ruka, like waiting in the car. And we've met what she does when she's waiting in the car, which is pretty fucking brutal. Oh my god. And yeah, at the same time, the radio announcer is describing this dude up on the roof that We're pretty sure we see him eating somebody.
I
Or
think
eating
so.
a piece of
Yeah.
somebody is like the first moments we see him. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the cops come, they cut off his arm because he like had a chainsaw. They cut off his arm, and then fucking chainsaw replaces it at his arm. That he's like rocket punching at people.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just like, did
Yeah.
he just rocket punch and chainsaw at somebody? What the fuck is this movie?
Okay, so it's at this point that all right, so I'm not prepared for how far we'll go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not prepared for that yet. But at this point, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm fucking in. Because this is a really fun segment of movies that I like. Like you can already tell that this is done like from this moment on, or already at this moment, like basically when the cops come up and fire their guns for the first time at the dude, we really know like this is a crazy low budget B movie. They want to be a B movie.
Yeah.
And they're doing these shoestring budget things, and I'm really into those. I mean, I'm not watching them all the time. I'm not like, I have a buddy that's again, like already it's giving me trauma film vibes, which Omari, I don't know if you've seen like the Toxic Avenger.
Okay.
Or
I'm aware of the Toxic Avenger.
Okay, yeah, like that. It's just like it's this really just low budget stuff. Like Lloyd Kaufman is like the mastermind behind it all, and the films that company produces are just kind of like this gives off those vibes so strongly, and also like our guest said, RoboCop vibes. You're already getting it. And
Yeah, they were like overdoing it with the blood, but it was more like how MK overdoes it. And I don't have a problem
Right.
with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, Gore, whatever. It's okay, that's a lot of blood, but it's funny. It's funny to me. And Ruka comes, she bodies the dude looking
the legend
cool.
is that all started from an accident. A samurai, like that look, a samurai movie back in the day. The like the bleeder was supposed to just like dribble. I think it was a move where the guy was supposed to be like he's running across and he does one of these, and it's just supposed to be like a across the waist slice that's supposed to slowly dribble out, and something malfunctioned and it just went, and the reaction that it got from like the crew and everyone behind the camera was enough for the director to be like, what is this now? That's like the legend of it, the Hollywood legend of it.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, you can like, yeah, this is not like Hostel. Like Hostel is going for realism in its gore, and it's dark and it's moody and it's trying to scare you about about like human trafficking in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
But this is a monster movie.
Yeah.
With the ridiculousness dialed up to 100. I mean, right after the fight with with Ruka and the Chainsaw Man, we go into our first like satire commercial, which was the
Oh
it
my
was the
goodness.
first time we see the ad multiple times for the private police force,
Yeah.
where they're just like murdering a dude live on TV and shit like that.
Like the commercials in this movie. Just
Yeah.
and the dubbing definitely and the quality thereof definitely added to the cheesiness of
Yep.
everything.
Every scene in this movie is a note in my notes, so I didn't take any notes. Like it's I could have taken a note for fucking everything. Literally the next scene after the first fake commercial is when we meet Bonesaw Hand Guy for the first time in the back of the police station. How fucking weird is this dude? And how bad at his job is he? Like, yeah, he's just like randomly stabbing his saw hand into bodies and like hoping for the best. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this weird shit? And like, but yeah, they had. Yeah, it turns out, yeah, what's her name? Ruka. Her dad died a long time ago. Chief of police raised her.
He's the guy that dies in the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her dad's the guy that dies in the opening. Chief of police raised her.
Chief of the private police.
Chief of the private police raised her to be the best engineer hunter on the planet. And it's like, okay. And then they cut to the flashback where it's like talking about like her mom or whatever. And then she gets like a call about being a prostitute and stuff. And I was just like, was not expecting anything that came out of that scene. Fucking stuff on the bed and all that shit. Just like, oh, okay. That's where we're going.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah,
that's a whole other random character that gets introduced there.
Yeah. I'm like, why is this scene still? Oh, okay.
Because she's going to have teeth boobs later, Omari. That's why we have that scene.
So that was a different. Okay.
That's not our main character.
I know that's not. I thought that was the main character's mom, but that's someone else. That's Stitch Tits. Or
his teeth. I think those were teeth.
Yeah. Okay. Tits. Titty teeth.
I like teeth boobs. But yeah, we're introducing her, and we're introducing the madam, because she gets to be the first kill to the big bad.
Correct.
So that's really the point of that scene, and you know, this, like, the point of this film is to be as provocative as possible, and I don't mean provocative strictly in the sexual sense. I just mean like, touching boundaries, getting you uncomfortable. Like, that's kind of that's I guess that's you know, that's one of the designs of these films.
Yeah, stop the harakiri! I'm like, let's stop the harakiri and the don't cut yourself on the wrist commercial or whatever. Both of those, like, these needed to be in Suicide Club. That's what you would expect these kind of commercials for. Is like, hey kids, stop killing yourselves. Don't do it. And then
I was just gonna say that the same production company also brought you films like The Machine Gun Girl. Also, where was it? It was something like Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Woman.
That sounds hilarious. Yeah, so then we see some stuff where there's like, she's on a train, dude's like eating bugs and stuff, and then we seem to cut to a different things. It was so hard seeing what characters.
Oh, wait. We skipped over something. So like I said, every one of these scenes is a fucking standout moment.
Yeah.
But I do want to highlight this. So so she goes and meets Bonesaw Hand Dude. Then she like goes to that bar and we meet the bartender and then we get the flashback of her being a young teenage cutter and that the bartender saved her, and that's going to be an emotional beat way later at the end of the movie. But that's why we had that scene. And then while she's at the bar, she gets a phone call to come back to the station, and it's super fucking creepy. And they're walking in, and oh no, it's just a surprise party. Happy birthday! But we reveal what might be the creepiest thing in this movie. I mean, there's so many fucked up things in this movie, and this might be the worst. And at this moment, he's told to us to be basically the dad of the main character the dad archetype of the main character we're following. And he has a human dog. A human sex dog.
Yeah. That is a thing that happened. And it was weird as fuck.
In that moment, I said, that's the bad guy. He has a human dog.
Yeah, when he walked in, I'm like, oh, who the fuck is he? Oh, it's a surprise party. Okay.
I was like, okay, it's a surprise party, but that dude's the bad guy. That dude is fucked up. What is going on with this thing?
We must kill all engineers. No mercy.
Yeah, while we're on the uncomfortable stuff, I will just say chair.
Yeah.
Chair.
Yeah.
I can't say anything more than chair.
And I won't say anything more than chair. But yes.
If you know, you know.
Yep. That was a thing.
If you don't, I don't know. Listen to our review and decide if this is a movie that you are interested in. I mean, if you're interested in the things that I've said so far, if you're interested into the so like one thing that I was thinking about while I was watching this was like, is this like, as far as these types of animes, is this the most IRL anime that we've seen? Of like, I feel like I have seen this anime.
Possibly. It's definitely very anime in the way it actually.
I mean, yeah, I haven't actually seen that, like, because it's obviously weird and of its own. But like, you know, I don't know. It's if you like that weirder, gorier side of anime, then maybe you'd give this a shot and you're interested.
It does have some badass moments and stuff too. Like when I thought it was a completely different character and I thought we were getting introduced to some badass umbrella bitch. And I was like, yeah, Umbrella, cool. She's cool.
You kept getting lost on who these motherfuckers were.
Right? Because I could have sworn.
Our main character had a freckle right here. I announced that out loud to the room at one point as as a clock of like, freckle is our main character.
So here's the thing. I thought they both happened to have the freckle. Like, somehow, I thought when she was on the train, I thought she saw dude reaching and harassing the girl with the umbrella. I thought she saw him doing that. So I thought they were both on that train. So that's why I thought, and they're like, did she notice her because she has the freckle on the nose or what's going on there? And I'm like, well, let's see what Umbrella Chick can do, because other chick's really fucking cool. How we got a contender for coolest chick in the movie. a competitor, and then she takes the fucking molester off the train. She grabs his hand, drags him into an alley. He's like trying to apologize, saying it wasn't him. And meanwhile, I'm like, he's begging a lot. I'm pretty sure it was him because she seems very convinced it was. But
she grabbed his hand while it was still on her butt.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm pretty sure it was him. But if it somehow wasn't, Ruka's gonna come in and be like, he's right, it was an engineer that did so-and-so. But that's mainly because I'm thinking that's not Ruka. And then she just fucking cuts his hands off, fucking blood fountain, pulls out the umbrella. Molestation is wrong. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. And then fucking Gun Eyes shows up, the main villain, where they explain that, these engineers, they got a key-shaped tumor in them, and when you injure them, their body replaces it with like a weapon of some sort.
Yeah.
So she cuts off this dude's face, but he just grows guns out his eyes. And I guess they're not permanently like that, I noticed. I was gonna say, I guess they're
what about before that, his killing method? Because before that, I think he has 2 victims in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Where he basically has giant metal straws.
Oh yeah.
That he stabs into the people, and then he puts bottles at the end of them that gathers up all the blood.
And then he folds them up and puts them in a box.
And then he folds them up and puts them in a box. And then he cleans. So it's like neat and tidy and in a box for the police to find. What? Who thinks of these things?
It was so weird.
Like, I have a buddy
jars of blood next to the box with the folded up like body in it.
I have a buddy that will make his own tabletop RPGs, and we've done some. I've played some really cool ones that he's done. Some like zombie ones, some winter some like Arctic survival ones, a couple of horror ones, and in all of them there are moments where I'm like, how the fuck do you think of this? Like, what is wrong with you? You have a problem. It's fucked up. But yeah, eventually umbrella costumed Ruka finds him, slices off the top of his head, and guns come out where his eyes were.
And eventually pins her to the wall, and he shows how engineers are made. He takes the key tumor, rubs it against your skin, which makes a keyhole that he unlocks. Like, whatever part of the body he's doing it, with her, it was her arm. And then he just places the tumor in the body like, now you are one of us. Oh.
Yep.
And it wasn't until she woke up and I'm like, oh, she's going to wake up and then we're going to find out about the other chick. And I'm like, the way they're talking, I'm like, wait, that was her? Oh, okay. I missed something, but okay. That sucks that she's got that thing in her now, so I get where some of the conflict's going to come from in this. And yeah, we have other shit like other cops are starting to be killed by this guy, and one of the guys working with them is like bored. Sorry, I found it hilarious. Dude's like bored and drawing on his arm. He's like, I could use some speed. He draws a fucking syringe on his arm.
I'm so confused by this scene.
I can feel it in my veins.
And then the movie depicts as if he's actually getting high on drugs. I don't know. I don't know.
God, I need some speed.
Yeah, it's just a dude that's bored at work. We're introing him because he's going to appear later in the same scene with the chair.
Yes, and with titty teeth.
Teeth boobs is there too.
So yeah, he ends up going to some underground prostitution house, and where they got stuff like the chair and her and somebody else that was weird. Everything was weird there, and people give you a number and take it.
Snail.
The snail. That was the third one. The snail.
Snail. Yeah.
Everybody's got something weird there. You know, you see a guy pay to get the snail chick. You see our, needle drawing pay to get the teeth boobs, titty teeth. And takes her to a room. They start getting a bit, hot and heavy. And then she bites his dick off.
I was wondering how we were going to broach the subject.
She bites his dick off.
Yeah. And Gun Eyes is there.
And Gun Eyes is there, like that.
Gun Eyes is there, and and then she immediately bites his dick off. And then I would assume I'm guessing this is the moment that you were referring to is exactly like Hostel.
Oh yeah, because he comes in and he takes a fucking drill and drills it into his fucking feet, or drills it into either feet or leg, and they're just like.
Yeah, it was like in his shin or something. Yeah,
my note was like, "Damn it! I said not like Hostel." I said we said least like Hostel. Damn it!
He gets free because he had an Uzi in his pants the entire time, and you know how Uzis be cutting bitches in half. So yeah, he cut teeth boobs in half with an Uzi, and freed himself.
Only to find out in the hallway, because he also had his leg messed up. So he can't run.
What happens to engineers, Omari, when they get hurt?
They grow weapons, and she grows a croco veg. She comes out, chasing him down the hallway. I'm like, what? What is this?
I watched this movie with my wife. We should all apologize to my wife.
I had no idea what it was gonna be. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, like I say, I go down the hall and I tell her what's next. And it's her choice. It's her choice if she's going to join this wild ride. It's the whole point of this thing is you never know what you're gonna get. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Not at all.
Turns out it's croc vagina.
Fucking crocodile mouth where her veg should be, and she's attacking him with it. Eventually, though, I believe he kills her. He dies as well, right?
Oh, he becomes an engineer, which was Gun Eye's whole plan.
That's right.
Because he wants an engineer on the police force. Do you remember what his mutation is, Omari?
Yes.
Well, he had a very strong wound.
He did
somewhere on his body.
This motherfucker.
Maybe that thing is
came
already
in
kind of gun
with a
shaped.
fucking gun dick.
It's a gun cannon.
A gun cannon. A dick cannon.
Yeah, I would say that's Dick Cannon. He's Dick Cannon, FBI. Yeah, that's a Dick Cannon, if I've ever seen one.
Just walks in and just starts
Giant balls. I'm only just now seeing. I'm looking at a clip. Giant balls on it. Thank goodness they added those giant balls.
Yeah, and he just goes around fucking shooting everybody in sight in the fucking police station.
Yeah, it's at this point that Ruka has found Gun Eye's hideout, and Gun Eyes gives her the full breakdown of like, listen, bitch.
Here's my backstory. Drawn with like kids' drawings and told like a fucking kid's story. And then this motherfucker, he's talking about all this stuff, and then he's like, the real evil person is the boss of the private police. So join me. We're gonna stop him. Just cuts him. Thanks for telling me. And walks away. I was like, not what I expected, but what that guy deserves. He does not deserve to be teamed up with. Like, yeah, we'll get our vengeance together. Because it turns out his father killed her father, and then the policeman killed his father. Because he wanted to hide the tracks that he told him to kill the father. So it's just one of those things, because her father was against the privatization of the police force. And he wanted money, so sometimes people gotta die. And after we get that reveal, and we get the whole Dick Cannon and all that stuff, we also get the police just 180, just not hiding it anymore. They're just maximum evil, and they're just going around the city doing the worst.
Like the engineer attack at the precinct elevates them to basically, we're gonna kill everybody.
Yeah,
they get to the paranoia point of like everybody's a possible engineer, kill everybody. And yeah, it's just an insane, like, the bloodlust. I think it's clear that they're just depicting just like insane bloodlust at a certain point of like the cops have gone psycho.
Yeah. To the nth degree, they're just like, everything must die in the most brutal way possible, including the barkeep.
Yep.
And I was happy at first because I was like, oh good, they didn't show her get fucking quadrisected by cars.
I'm a little disappointed at this point, real quick, because it's at the very start of this scene. That we didn't get what I already assumed was going to be our main character's final mutation, which was going to be X-Acto knife arm.
See, I thought it should be
some random girl gets that mutation, and then she also gets acid boobs. Like, you thought you were satisfied with teeth boobs. Here comes acid boobs. Yeah, like, I thought that was like, because Jen was like, is it gonna be katana arm?
That's what I thought it should be.
Yeah, katana arm, but that's I don't know. That's I think the visual of her still like holding the katana needs to happen. So then it's something else. And I thought maybe it would be X-Acto knife arm over here.
That would have been cool too, because I agree with you. I was expecting something along like retractable blade for an arm, because she's clearly based on katanas. Yeah,
can we say I'm a little disappointed? Yeah. I'm a little disappointed with her eventual mutation. Random meaty snake arm
thing,
the lizard arm thing, and then the Terminator eyeball. I mean, like, I'm okay with the Terminator eyeball for the visual, but like the arm I feel like could have been
better.
Yeah, could have been anything else.
I agree with you on that one.
But yeah, you were mentioning about like drawn and quartered by cars.
Yep. Drawn and quartered, that's the term. Yeah. It looked like they weren't going to do it because it looked like Ruka got there in time, but she literally just got there to see it happen. Like when it cut back, I was like, oh, god damn it. It's happening. Goodbye, barkeep. But she then goes ahead and starts murdering every cop that she comes across. Yeah. And eventually leads us up to the final boss and mini boss fight, where first we fight the human dog person that has now blades on each of the appendages.
Right.
And is CG as fuck as it jumps around and fights. But she beats it, and the cop comes in. What did you do? She's like, I know what you did. Oh, well, I'll keep being evil. Fuck you, bitch. And final fight.
Were we ever told what the fuck that green shit was? Or are we just supposed to be like, oh yeah, he's got a super serum?
Yeah, I don't think we are. I thought he was gonna say, "Fuck it, I'll be an engineer too." I thought that's what he was doing.
Oh yeah, it's just some random green liquid.
Yeah,
that he like pulls off of his creature and stabs into himself.
Are you Bane? Is that Venom?
Yeah, because he doesn't. I was expecting. Oh, what's the transformation? Oh, he's not going to transform. Okay, I guess he's just. He's just stronger now.
Yeah. Then she cuts off his legs. He makes some kind of speech and then stabs themselves in the legs now. And this motherfucker starts jetpacking with just blood.
Literally, there's sound effects of like a jet engine taking off
from the blood spurting from his legs, and he's like flying around the room. I'm gonna kill you. And he doesn't kill her. He loses. And we start getting our like epilogues and shit. And it cuts to like her standing there, and fucking human dog now instead of swords has guns. And is standing on like fucking assault rifles, and is like her pet now. And we also see that Gun Eyes and Crocovag lived. As they walk away, and the movie has the nerve to sequel bait and be like, there's more coming in the future. And I'm like, well, I'll be.
Yep. Yeah. The movie has the nerve to sequel bait. Oh, God.
They just knew you'd want more of it.
Yep.
So yeah, anything else that we didn't mention in this thing?
I don't know, man. I'm sure there's several things.
Fucking thing. Oh, the fucking before the dog. No, the fucking scientist dude and his fucking revolver. That was the giant revolver with severed hands that he shot.
Oh my god! Yeah,
they punched people.
And they defied the laws of physics.
And
then she kept having to hold it back.
And then she tried to.
It wasn't just a projectile. It was like
a fucking hand. And then he tried to finish her off by shooting a bunch of them that all turned into middle fingers. And this bitch gets like a cord that she shoots out of her arm, I think, holds it up, and they just pivot on it perfectly and all come back and stab him, and he gives like a pun where he's like, I get the point. And I was like, no, I know I missed something. And that was it. It was a fucking finger gun, as well as the kids playing soccer with the bad guy's head in one of those commercials. because the cops saved him from an assaultist, and they just like,
Oh right. So yeah, we had satire commercials for like cute little designed wrist cutters. That was insane. And
or
then
maybe
we
that was the one
had
I thought should have been on in Suicide Club. Get your wrist cutters
yeah.
today.
uh and then we had a commercial for a brand new Wii game that depicted that you were controlling a live execution with your Wiimote. It was insane. The whole family can get involved.
It's sharp. It's great. It's a Kental sword. It slices. It dices.
Oh,
it's a
that
sword. It's a Kental sword.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to see? Check it out. So moving on, I guess. We'll start wrapping up. I guess final thoughts on the movie.
Yeah, it was yeah, God, I don't it was
It's a movie.
It's hard, it's so hard to describe movies like this. You got to be willing to play ball. The special effects are handmade, 90% of them, and they kind of look like shit, but they kind of look great because you know they're handmade and you know this is a cheap film, and so you're like, oh, like, whoa, that was, I mean, and then with the gore, like, in my ideal world, like there's like 20% less gross out stuff.
Yeah.
That would be like, I mean, and maybe that just means that there's just like 20% less of everything. Like
I don't think we needed the chair.
I mean, no, you don't. You don't need, but you've seen it now. Now you've seen it. You can check that box.
It was not on the form. But yeah, I agree.
I enjoyed my time watching it. I had a lot of laughs. Me and my wife shared a lot of like bug-eyed looks and like what the fuck is going on here kind of comments. But it's for my taste level, it's just a little bit too far. But I had fun watching it. What about you?
I'm in a similar boat. Definitely, while I joke around about the whole Hostel thing, it is not like Hostel. It is, while it is over the top gory, it is played up to the nth degree. And like I said, that after a point you do just go over into like Mortal Kombat, other territory where it's so gory it's goofy. That said, I could also deal with about 20% less. Could also deal without the chair. A lot of my notes were taken up by me typing, "What is this movie? Seriously, what is this movie? What the fuck's going on?" Shit like that. But yeah, I did enjoy my time watching it. I figured I'd enjoy talking about it, and on the mission of have more talking points for a movie, boy, did this have talking points. I will say mission accomplished on that one. Yeah, I also enjoyed it. I can't say I would go back to watch it anytime soon. I also don't think I need to, because a lot of that stuff is just stuff that sticks with you.
I can't imagine a scenario in which I'm going to watch it again that doesn't speak ill to it. Like it may yeah. Fast forward a few years and I'm assembled by 4 folks of the right, but like even that, because we're too old for that. I'm too old for that to happen anymore. Like we don't just sit around and spend an evening watching movies randomly. It's a very planned event for a very specific movie or something usually.
Unless years down the road, you just start up a movie club group, and then you decide, you know what, I want to fuck with them this week. We're watching Tokyo Gore Police.
Yeah, you can always pull that out of your back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, maybe if you have a party and you just really need to clear the room, you're ready to go to bed, put on Tokyo Gore Police, and you'll cut 2/3 of your crowd. Unfortunately, the 1/3 that stays is going to be there for another hour and 45 minutes. But they're going to be very quiet, sitting on the couch, laughing and watching this movie.
It'll be an enjoyable hour 45 minutes. But yeah, so that's that. That is Tokyo.
That is that,
Police.
Omari, and we are officially done with Spooky Week.
Or month.
Oh, were you going to give a shout out to our guests?
Or even month. Yeah, I'm just gonna say.
Cut you off?
Yeah, just gonna say thank you very much to Fluffles for the suggestion. We will get you on here again to talk about various things and other stuff, but we do appreciate it. I think, like we both said, we enjoyed our time watching it, even if we probably aren't gonna watch it again. But it was hilarious. Mission talking points fully accomplished. I've been smiling like 90% of this video, in stark contrast to the one before.
I was bummed in the last episode.
Yeah,
I was bummed.
We were both. It was a very somber thing. I'm gonna say a line from the movie. Cut off like everything you say because I am upset.
Fuck, I forgot I did that. That was a kind of a dick move.
No, it wasn't. It was hilarious to me. I laughed during it. That was one of the few things I laughed at. Was that
I haven't watched that one yet. I hope it reads well. I hope I don't feel bad about that.
It reads well enough. It reads as well as it needs to. But yes, you were talking. Yes, we are done with Spooky Month.
Done with Spookies, and so we are going to dip back into the classics. We're gonna get back in, although they do terrible numbers on YouTube. It is we gotta fill this guy's film catalog. I want Omari to leave this experience with the knowledge of a film god. And he has a glaring hole in the great American Western.
I sure do.
So next week, we are going to watch Once Upon a Time in the West.
God bless. I have lost his damn mind in the West. Yes, so that's that. If you want to catch that, obviously you can catch it here. We got new episodes every week, every Tuesday. You want to catch me elsewhere? We also weekly on Saturdays now. Been going strong with that. We got a show, You Don't Watch Sports, for people who that title refers to. It's two guys, two pretty casual sports fans, talking about 3 topics, give you something to talk about with those folks around the office or listen to stuff. Just get you that little sprinkle of your weekly news from some average Joes, if you will. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube on the Whatever We Want podcast with new episodes every week, every Wednesday. I do it with a good friend of mine and another good friend of the show, Super Jazz.
Super Jazz.
Thank you very much, as nature intended. I also, like I already said, there's new episodes every week, every Wednesday. I also have a Twitter and Twitch. That's Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in. Stop on by. Bill, you got anything left to say to the folks out there?
No. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending it with me, Omari.
Thank you.
Thanks for another. We both made another trip around the sun.
Indeed.
You and I in the month of October, and I am happy to be doing this here with you, sir.
Same. Yeah, we both had birthday episodes in October.
Boom, boom. Yours was on a birthday? You didn't mention it? So I'm the selfish one? I'm the egotistical one talking about my own birthday?
I always talk about my own birthday. It was 4 weeks ago. Because it's always 4 weeks ago.
Right. But we did it on a... No, your birthday was on like a... Wednesday. No.
It
was on a Tuesday.
Before yours.
It was on a Tuesday. Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't think. Well, no, I don't. We already talked about your birthday.
Yeah.
And I made a public declaration, which is even stronger.
That's what I was. Yeah, you're the one who.
But I don't remember you mentioning it during the record.
There may be reasons for that if I didn't. Anyway, we'll discuss it off camera. Have a good one.
I forgot we were still recording.